Okay, class, welcome back. Now, for today's class, we are going to do a little bit of review to make sure that you remembered what we did last class. And then we're going to go into a little bit of an activity with mirrors. You're all going to enjoy it. It's going to be really cool for you. Then, we're going to go a little bit of theory. We're going to talk about the law of reflection. It's going to be one of those things that you can find on the test. Finally, there's going to be a little bit of homework. It's not going to be too much. It's just going to be a little video that you guys are going to watch, and you're going to tell me what you think about it next class. So, before we get to that, on to the review. So, last class, we talked about how light moves through different media. Now, when light comes out of a source, that's the start of our journey. In what direction does light go? Anyone?
Light travels in all directions.
That's right. Light will propagate out in all directions. When it moves through the medium, light will behave in a certain way. Now, what speed does light travel? Anyone? Yes?
Does it travel at a constant speed?
That's right. Light will travel at a constant speed in a constant direction and will keep going. And so for today, what we're going to look at is what happens when light, here, meets an object. And there's two things that can happen. Anyone have any ideas? Yeah?
It can either go through it,
Yes?
or will it bounce back?
That's right. There's two things that light will do. It'll either go through the object or it'll bounce back off of it. We're going to talk about the second. We call this process reflection, and it's easy to remember. When you look in a mirror, the image that you see on the other side, we call that reflection. This is the law of reflection. So, we have an activity for you today. Now, on each of you will have a handout on your desk, and what you're going to have on your desk as well is you're going to have a light box and a mirror. Now, the mirror will be clearly marked where you put it, and then the light box, you have a few suggested lines for you to follow. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to point the light box at the mirror, and you're going to use your pencils to trace out the light beam as it comes into the mirror and as it comes out of the mirror. Then what you'll do is you use your protractors to measure the angles. So it's very similar to your mathematics classes. All right? You guys have 1 minute.
Sir, is that what we've drawn? Is that correct?
Yes. So what do you find when you look at this diagram?
So when you said measure the angles were both the same. Is that what?
Yes, that's right.
Oh.
Now, when you're doing this activity, you're pointing the light source in the center of the mirror. Do you think it would have any effect if, say, you pointed the light source at the edges of the mirror, or if you tilted the mirror? Try it out.
Maybe the angles will change.
Try it. Okay, class, wrap it up. Eyes on me. We're going to go over this. So, when we looked at the mirror, we had a ray box, and we had a light that fed into here. Now, what we call this is we call this our incidence ray. And the ray bounced off the mirror and came out. Now, mathematically speaking, we look at these two angles here. This angle we call the incidence angle. And this angle here we call the angle of reflection. So what did everyone see when they did the activity? Yes?
The angles were the same.
That's right. And this leads into one of the simplest formulas you'll ever see in physics. That's it. No trigonometry, no multiplication, no nothing. This is the angle of your light coming in, the incidence angle, is the same as your angle of reflection. Now, we're running a bit short on time, so we'll save talking about the properties of images for next class. But what I want you to do for homework is on your handouts, you're going to see a link to a video. Now, I want you to go home and I want you to watch the video. It's really short, it's about 7 minutes. And I want you to look at it and I want you to think about two things. I want you to look and think about in what orientation are the images? Are they flipped? Are they rotated? Are they moved over? And I also want you to think about how big are they? Are they larger? Are they smaller? Are they about the same size as you? You'll find the answers in the videos. Just make sure to watch it. And we'll come back next class and we'll talk about it. Okay? Class dismissed.